This is the new piece that I'm working on. I don't know what to call these things. They're just drawings. We're in this black moon Lilith period of time. And this is the anima stuff. I guess if you wanted to use some modern terminology. But it's a process of finding and holding your own power. And that challenges us because oftentimes we are benefited for giving our power away and pretending through empowering aspects of our expression in this world that we identify as ego. For without ego, you couldn't do anything. You know, that is the OS of this mind-body machine, and it's not bad. So that leads us to finding authenticity. And speaking our truth into existence. And some of us speak through our actions. My throat is really messed up lately. I know a lot of people who have had different coughs. Some people have been smoking a lot. Others just can't find the words. So there's a lot of repression within us, a lot of energy buildup. And part of finding your authenticity is finding the reason for it, and expression is the gift of life, which we all seek. The cause. And the dynamics you're working through, they help to affect how you express, but they don't define it entirely. It is the choice that defines it. And so a lot of us in life, we seek gravity because we don't know what the hell this is. We're just here in this life. A lot of things don't make sense. We're playing games. We're pretending a lot of times. And if you have a yearning for understanding, for truth, for value, then you will find that in some way in this world. But to find the gravity first, you must identify through your ego and try and find those things, those situations, those people, places, the dynamics of life which bind you to a form. And so it is a cultivation process in which love gives us the gift of familiarity. And we grow through the contempt of that familiarity. And the contempt is the realization subconsciously that we are living an illusion. Because everything we've had to identify as that truth has tethered us to a form, an expression, external to ourselves. So in these times with that power dynamic, the black moon Lilith, you have to be able to hold the yang of yin energy. That's this Aquarian epoch. So the inward rebellion is the search to be able to hold your own fire without burning yourself or the world down. And so as you've found these people, these places, these things to keep you locked into a progressive, dynamic, growing ego, where you found a role in your surroundings, society, culture, whatever, they are becoming constricted. They've been becoming constricted ever since you were born. But now you are pressed. Are you going to allow the illusions of this world, the mask of the false ego, are you going to continue to wear that bullshit even though it doesn't serve you in this new world? Who cares if you're winning a losing game? We have to get out of this insatiable need to find form for the friction. You have to bring your attention to form in a constructive way, which is dynamic. And to do that, you hold your own power. And you can do that confidently, knowing that we're here to learn. If you think you already know or have the answers, then you're just living the dream. You're in the Piscean dream. And everything is a scheme to uphold that illusion. But when you fall into your own delusion, that's the freedom. Alright, so a quick astrology idea here. I just made the circle in the center here. Circle represents us, everything. No matter where you are, you're at the center of yourself. So for consensus reality's sake, we're just going to go with this sphere. And we've got an east and a west. Depending on my perspective, how I am oriented, either I'm looking out to individuate, break out of this place, or I'm looking to get into this place. And so I'm facing the opposite direction. My east becomes my west, and my west my east. So if you look at the astrological wheel and you look at the east-west line, AC/DC, and you look at the IC, that represents the inner psyche. The downward spiral into life. You're bringing heaven and hell to earth. It's a powerful expression. But it ain't well known because it is very inward driven into the dynamics which facilitate what you're going through. And so, with that kind of a dynamic, the west becomes east, and the mere reflection is that the we becomes me. It's highly subjective. When I interface with you, interact with you, I can only see you the way I see this reality. Doesn't mean that it's always wrong, but it means your perspective dominates. And that affects the world and the experiences you have oftentimes. These are heavy energies. But when you are driven, you've gone through whatever that is, and you're trying to express the results of that in an upward spiral, then your east is your east and your west is your west. You are facing the sun at that point. Your back isn't towards it. It's hot. It's harsh. And it ain't easy. It's oftentimes work. That's why Capricorn represents MC. It's bringing form to matter, and that's you in life, regardless of where you're pointing. So don't feel bad if your orientation isn't towards this pop culture, cult of personality bullshit we see going on. And so life is a cultivation, a process, an art, a gift, a curse. It's all these things and more. Cannot be named, but it can be framed, and that's your perspective. So no matter where you're oriented, what you're going through, you've got opportunities. Alright, so this has just been a random thing. The battery died too. It's hot. But I'm going to draw this out, see if I can take pictures of it, and then I will paint it. Paint over what I drew. So I'm just maximizing my expression, my time, that kind of stuff.